Illustrations by ELE. The Red Brick Library was having a contest. Write the best story. Win first prize. First prize was a ride on the Super Duper Looper roller coaster with my favorite author, Annie Miles, who wrote the Runaway roller coaster. Wow! First prize doesn't get any better than that. I ran home, went to my room, shut the door, and I sharpened 5 pencils. Opened my notebook to a brand new page, and thought and thought and thought. And all I could think was, this writing stuff was hard and lonely. Maybe I needed help. I told my brother Tim about the contest. The best stories, said my brother Tim, have lots of action. So I wrote a lot of action into my story. I wrote about a bus hurtling down the highway with no one at the wheel. I added a tornado, a pirate, and a great white shark. But the story didn't seem quite right. So I asked my dad, and he said, the best stories have plenty of humor. So I changed the great white shark to a monkey, and I put the monkey at the wheel of the bus. And I turned the tornado into turnips, and I dressed the pirate in polka-dotted pajamas. Dad laughed so hard he popped a shirt button. Even so, this story didn't feel quite right either. What would you tell her to write about? What would you tell her? Robert, what would you tell her? What do you think would be the best story? A funny story? What else? What would you write it up? What would you tell her?
Hable fuerte.
An imaginary story? Along came Miss Jane. What are you doing? She asked. I'm writing a story, the best story, for a contest at the library. I can win a roller coaster ride with my favorite author. Oh, well then, said Aunt Jane. Here's all you need to know. The best stories are the ones that make people cry. So I gave the bug a flat tire. I sent the monkey to the funeral of his pet goldfish. I turned the turnips into onions, and I made the pirate chop everyone. There were lots of tears, but the story still wasn't right. My teenage cousin Anika said, I have news for you. If it's not romantic, it's a loser. So the pirate introduced the monkey to his sister Grace, and they fell in love. And I turned the onions into wedding invitations, and everyone lived happily ever after. Finally, my story was ready, so I read it to my family. What do you think they're gonna tell her? Do you think they're gonna like her story? How many think that their family's gonna like her story? Raise your hand. Everyone? You don't think nobody's gonna tell her to change it? Not enough action, said my brother Tim. Maybe the monkey could fall into the wedding cake, said Dad. That would be really funny. It's hard to cry at a wedding when the groom is a monkey, said Aunt Jane. Anika said it would be perfect if I added a kiss. In all this time, my mother hadn't said a word. So I asked her, what do you think is the best story? She gave me a hug. I think the best story is one that comes from the heart, your own heart. That night, after supper, I looked into my heart and rewrote my story. No more monkeys, no more pirates, no more wedding invitations, no more happily ever after. What do you think she's gonna write about now? If they already told her, if her mom told her, you know, what does it have to come from? Her heart, right? So what do you think she's gonna write about now? What do you think?
Maybe she's gonna write about what she likes.
What she likes? Okay, what else? What else do you think of it? Her family? Oh, okay. My new best story is about my family and my two best friends, Tara and Josh. It's about my cat Oli, who sleeps on his back, and snow days and toasts with strawberry jam. It's about fireworks and rainbows and bike rides. My biggest problem was keeping the story short. Once I started pulling things out of my heart, it was hard to stop. When my story was finished, I turned it in to the judges. Maybe I'll win that roller coaster ride with Annie Miles, and maybe I won't. Either way, I'll be happy. I'll be a winner because the story I wrote is my own, not somebody else's, and that makes it the best. Did you like the story?